Um, Good afternoon. Is almost 3 p.m. of Friday, December 13th. And today is the day number 5 of this webinar. So tomorrow will be the last day, Saturday, at 11 a.m., 11 a.m. Eastern Time. So these days, 5 days, we spoke about the first day was a summarizing of the gaps, summarizing the mechanism of the entire process, entire machine of production, distribution, sales and distribution of a film project, film product. And then we talk about risks. We talk about some points important, like summarizing the points about the factors, the mechanism, each mechanism of the entire process. So again, so let me first, again, today is the number 5, the day of this webinar, and is about, and so I welcome first of all, and is about how to invest in the film industry with confidence, and of course how to obtain a more than reasonable return on investment and a satisfactory capital gain in a completely safe environment. I am Mark Taloni, and I run the agency Mark Taloni Investments, that exclusively for the film industry. So this webinar will be today, I said, the number fifth day, and then tomorrow will be the 6th day, and the last day where they wrap it up at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. So now today. This last today, I want to speak about, again, organizations, strategy, numbers, and how to get it. So we focus more in this part of, especially for distribution. So we spoke for 4 days already about the stages and issue to be identified in such a type of investment, and disclosing the strategy and secret to get on the right path and ensure that our investment will be as expected. So we understand the mechanism. We spoke about risks, quality, the quality, film industry to become a source of income. How? Reality of the film industry business, production, organization of the business. And then again, I repeat this word, gaps, making the business bound to failure. Then distributions, sales, how it's fundamental to convert everything in revenue. Yesterday, we capitalized the meaning of the efficient film production and distribution, talking about the fact that my model to be in the side of assurance, guarantees, a secure return on investment must be similar to the Hollywood studios. How? Machine, a complete machine, as I already said many times. Efficient, well organized, compatible with the size of the organization, and with all components of its mechanisms in place, running smoothly and straight to the finish. I like this comparison, like a Ferrari. Mercedes, do you like more? Anyway, it's okay. It doesn't matter. As long as we reach the finish line, it means to achieve our goal set since the beginning. So what is this goal set since the beginning, which was for investors to obtain a satisfactory return on investment in a short time. Producers, filmmakers, if they are investors, they will be on the same page as the financiers. If they are just creators or paid business executives, this webinar is definitely interesting for when you need to pitch your film project, because to make a film needs a lot of money in any stage. Producers with investors, many times they have gaps in their machine, as I explained all the way this webinar. especially as I said, I all the time talk about this, the distribution mechanism. That is not part, being not part of the entire machine becomes a gap. So, and that makes things harder. And I talk about this word, I like the word phantomatic. This webinar has the scope to put lights over uncertainty and making appear the film industry as an independent film industry of any size, a real business, and I would say a successful business. Factors, again, a machine, a complete machine, a business machine with all mechanisms and their components, a full gear, well lubricated, well functioning, and efficient in their tasks. That's what we have all spoken about so far in this webinar. So this is the key point. So let's talk about the single mechanism. We say again, film development, film production. Then we have third, film post production. Number four, film distribution, sales. This is the main mechanism. So we said these are the main mechanism of our machine, and we spoke about how it should be organized and implemented in efficient manner, including their components. So far, we have given that the artistic quality of the film is there. The film is made, ready to be sold to the public. Today, we will elaborate the numbers through the organization focus with strategies about the distribution. We understood that our film machine, if it doesn't have the distribution in-house or set since the beginning during the pre-production stage, there's a gap, I said many times, which will bound the film product in a limbo, in a huge level of uncertainty. We mentioned that the film, let's call the film machine, came out without wheels or even without transmission. It's blank. So then the executives of the film machine have to go out to seek for the missing parts. And most of the time, I would say always, they have to park the film machine inside the garage. You know, I like to express this concept in terms of racing car, So the garage of the distributor, and then we have the distributor out this garage, because then we had to make the distributor do his job to assemble an unknown transmission, wheels, etc., etc. As such, a distributor surely has more than one film machine in his garage, and he wants to get the best result out of it, But how? How? And then how and out of what? So racing distributor have to put a lot of money in those film machines, and if they fail, it would be a great problem for them as independent distributors. So the spontaneous strategy is to be very cautious in money investing in each of one of these film machines, and step by step see what going faster and better. And you can bet that they will rather put efforts and focusing more on the film machine that performs better, leaving the others behind, sometimes even dropping them halfway, because a lot of money. I mean, the distributor cannot spend a lot of money for this. So he got something going on, and they have to spend money on it. So this is a big gap in the film machine. It happens all the time. Always is like that. Of course, there are independent films that are bigger, as I mentioned at the beginning of this webinar. They have backup, stronger presence, A level performers. They have potentially more capability to gather audience in the theaters. Our film machines goes to compete, in this case, with other film machines. So this is a competition. So your question. So does it mean that if I act as a Hollywood studio, I don't have competitors? Well, to some extent it's true. The competition becomes different, less, and manageable. We will see why. Hollywood studios compete with each other in a different way, in the way measuring who will reach the first one, like 10 or more million of box office revenue in the first weekend when they go to the screen at the same time. So, I mean, it's another world. It's not our race. It's not our race. We cannot compete with this blockbuster stuff. It's not where we are. We are independent film machines, and we can compete in our type of race in different ways. The first way is the one I just mentioned. You don't have distribution in house. So you have to get out to seek for it. And then it's a gap. You are already behind. Then, if you find it, you have to rely on them for your success. That's another gap. So this is a form, a form of competition. So then we have another form of race, that is the cinemas one. We said that cinemas are out with acquisition to select films for a certain period to put on the screen, and they choose films that perspire money. We said that our race becomes different. We are a bigger scenario. We are in a bigger scenario, but we manage and control our film machine. We will keep equip it in advance before entering the race. Our scope is very simple: making our film machine transpire money. The cinema smell it, and that open their arms. So, but what does make our film machine perspiring money? How about perspiring money from the beginning toward distributors? Yeah, I said that. There are two different races, two different races. But it can be done too, as I said. If you are a film with a film machine of bigger size, stronger size, with more power in size, such as a high popularity, A-stars performers in it, etc., etc. If you consider your film machine at that level as independent, you are welcome to go for it. And then I'm pretty sure that you will have chance even to choose your distributor, eventually attaining guarantees. But in this webinar, we are focusing on small filmmakers and consequentially small film machines, who are much more than the bigger one. So, I mean, as a quantity. So the independent film, there are many, many thousands of films of smaller level of, let's go by budget. So budget, like, okay, we are talking about small, medium budget, like 1 million, 2, 3, 4, 5 million. So this is our focus. So this webinar is for this kind of films budget, 1 million, even less than that, half million, 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, 5 million, the top. So that is there are so many in the market, but then also you have to think that as I said before, the cinema, they choose the one they put in the screens. So then you as a small budget film, 1-2 million, to have a proper space, a proper setup in order to obtain your result, you have to do something. So that's the one I'm talking about. I'm talking about the efficiency, the optimization in this webinar. I'm talking about this stuff, not just make a movie, hurry up to make a movie, nice movie, and then have to figure it out how to sell it. Because you don't make money. The investor, you don't make money in this way. So I cannot say the percentage how many, but there are many. I would say that the film, the small one, are a lot. And most of them, even if they're artistically endowed with capability, still they need help and a proper address to make a successful, complete film machine, as I said until now. Though these webinars are applicable also to bigger independent film production, of course. But mostly the positioning of our film machine is a small, medium size in terms of power and popularity. But the artistic level would be at the same of a bigger one. And sometimes even blockbuster films from Hollywood flop compared to very small films in terms of artistic level. Back to our small, medium size of film machines, we had the question to answer to. How can I make perspire from my film money in the way the cinema opened their arms? So because that's what we want. We need at least a minimal. So my model is based on limited release by regions and in a limited time. So that's my small like scenario. I aim at this kind of scenario because it's more acceptable for cinema. Because of course, if let's say you spend a lot of money for PA, like print and like a thousand screen at one time. That's a mountains of money first, and then to make advertising, be advertised for this kind of 1,000 screen, a lot of money. I mean, the cinema they know they want to see how you bring people. Even though the film is nice, good, beautiful, but if you don't advertise them, if you don't promote the film, they don't go. There's is a market law, the market law. So you need promotion. You have to promote the film. Us as a let's see, small budget film that don't have so much money, we have to really figure it out with efficiency, figure it out optimization of these things to maximize the potential, the number of statistically. That's we do statistically a number of tickets sold. So we have to do that. So that is the key point in order to succeed in our niche. So in this situation, I want to go back to talk about my model. As I said, speaking about the Operation 3 films that we are elaborating. We are at a development stage. It means that we are assembling pieces, but scripts are completed. Production teams are ready there for the move, and the distribution corporation has already assembled a draft of the distribution plan that needs only to be defined, refined, which will be done once the Operation 3 films will go in pre-production stage. Perspiring money. So how we do, that's our model. How? I just said now that the distribution corporation has already worked in a draft of distribution of these 3 films and has already came up with an organizational structure of the distribution and with numbers as well. And we'll arrive to do that. The scopes are first, to make a good enough artistic level product that will attract a minimal audience in our territory where we are going with our films. And that we have it. And then we have the production team that complies with the scope. Second, we need to generate distribution plan compatible with our structure and at the same time compatible with the cinema expectation. That's, as I said before, a schedule in terms of ratio between times of shows, box office revenue. And we have that. Cinemas evaluate the film to bring to screen first to see it, what it's all about. Second, they want to know from the distributor how she will bring the audience to buy ticket. Of course, the cinema have their parameters of judgment, and it depends also from how many theaters at once will demand. So cinema have expectation, and of course a minimum box office revenue for one theater on screen. The minimum would the minimum would be the so-called four-wall income. It means that the theater expects a minimum of money to be paid to exhibit the one film 4 times a day. That's vary. Now I'm just saying numbers, but I think the average, for example, let's see an average of 250 seats. 250 seats, we said, the theater. We minimum might be around $2,000, I guess, for a day in general. So that's the four-wall income. That's already a good level for the cinema. But let's see the cinema wants an assurance that one film of ours has to guarantee such revenue for the cinema. Cinema rent to private groups around $150 per one film. I mean, of course, different time, not during the prime time, like in the morning for student, whatever. Surely at specific times, as I said, but then anyway, we do our calculation and have a deal of minimum 2,000 of one theater for one day. But I mean, how does the deal go down? So our distributor knows what cinemas want, and we approach them a long time before they expect the booking of screens. It means at least 1 year before. We anticipate that we will have 3 films at the same time, and will book only a limited number of cinemas per defined region in the specific territory for the first weekend. Then, for the following 5 days of the week and the final weekend, so meaning 2 weekends and 1 week, 5 days. So that's very, very small time. I mean, very basic time. This is a basic time, but eventually, extendable. So with the clause that could be extendable in case certain demand. So how the cinema can expect? Let's see. For example, let's talk about US. The US. The distributor will apply this strategy in all territory where it implements a distribution operation directly. In our case, 1GJ Media has the US, Canada, the UK and Ireland, Italy and Thailand. That's our 1GJV Media operates directly in these territories, and they call it Territory Group 1. That's how they call it. So back to US. US has a lot of theaters. Let's see, approximately they have 5,500 theaters. But our distributor, 1GJV Media, proposed to divide the US in 3 regions where the 3 films will be exhibited in 3 different times. 3. Eastern, Central and Mountains, and Pacific. So we have 3 regions. So 1GJ Media will explain that we do so because it will concentrate the promo marketing campaign in each region with a system to generate a massive promotion to bring audience enough just for 2 weekends and 1 week. 2 weekends, 1 week. There's very small time of shows, and we don't take space to the cinema. Calculating that there are over 5,500 theaters in total, we'll book around 600, 611 theater per region. So meaning like 5,500 theater total. So we book 600 times 3, like 1,900. So 1,900 theater over 5,000. So meaning we don't take space, just very, 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 selected theater, limited release, focusing on a specific city in each region. So why is that? Why we do that? Because we propose to maximize the promo marketing campaign in each region, and that it should be done with a specific strategy at target. The minimum that the cinema wants is, let's say, 2,000, like 1 million, totally 611 per region, 1,222,000. So that's what they want. Basically, that's a minimum they want. I want that level per region. So we can deal with it. and is insisting to have 50% share deal after tax deducted, because they will benefit from that, since the total expected gross by statistic will be 70 millions and $500 only for that week, 2 weekends, obtaining an average of 12% of tickets sold in the weekdays. uh, be aware, 12% is calculated not in 250 seats, but in 170. So we calculate the front seats that like doesn't exist, because nobody sits in there usually. Plus, we know these days the theater are not full, so people, they sit in 170 seats. 170 seats, 12%, 12% average during the weekdays. 4 shows a day, 12% totally. So will be three people, 4 people, 3 people, 2 people, 2 people at 3 o'clock, 4 people 3 o'clock. Over nobody dead. I mean, that's the average. But then in the evening, maybe there are 20 people over 170, 25 people over 170 seats. This is very plausible. I mean, after you do advertising, you do promo marketing, people, they go to see. Otherwise, if they don't go, what does it mean? It means that the cinema closed, because the cinema, the film absolutely will be interesting enough, because we study that for our target area. So people are interested in that statistically. Statistically, for like an average, like a very reasonable average, 12%. And then we calculated 25% average sold in the 2 weekends. So meaning Saturday, Sunday, two times Saturday, Sunday. First Saturday, Sunday, second Saturday, Sunday. 25%. So meaning the earliest or Saturday early will be 10 people early. In the evening will be 50 people. Over 170 seats. I mean, theater 250 seats, and then instead is 100. We calculated that 25% over 170 seats. Be aware that that's important. We have to be reasonable, realistic. That's our calculation. So this calculation, 25%, so cinema, to deduct, now I did some calculation, like arm length, length of arm calculation, that is 2,270,000 taxes. So then the cinema, we have a revenue in their pocket 7,614,000, but with a chance to make even more in case of higher success, because we have extension, and we can deal with an extension or a bigger success of the film. In that case, cinema can even reach 50 millions of revenue. And we promise a strong promo marketing campaign. We invest a lot of money. So why we do by region? Because we focus our promo marketing in that region. We've completed that region with 3 films. 3 films could be simultaneously, or maybe every other week. So it depends also the schedule of the cinema. So in a month we do 3 films in a month. Finish. But before that, we do 2 months of promo marketing campaign. We do banners in the transportation, some TV interviews, posters in the cinemas, and then social marketing campaign. A lot of social marketing campaign at Target, like we try to make a big buzz in the way people go. You have short time, 1 week to go to the film. So we get a small average. So the statistic, we're gonna get that because the promo marketing campaign properly made it in that way. So statistically brings that average, as mentioned, 12% weekdays at 12 and 25% weekends on the 170 seats, not 250, the total of the seats available in the theater, only 170. 1 week, 2 weekends, extendable in case of bigger success. Usually, films will remain in the theater for 2 weeks or even 3 weeks or more. But we don't want that, but only in a certain scenario of success. So we have a deal, but we want to spend considerable money on the promo marketing campaign, be strongly effective, but to apply that the distributor must. So one GJ Media WhatsApp. The deal is, we finish a region and we have to collect the box office share each time before changing region. So we get that, and then 2 months later, then we start the campaign for the second region. Then after 2 months later, 3 months later, we have another region. So it means, just for example, January 1st, first region, February box office collective, February, March promo marketing campaign of Central Mountains region, and then April the film to screens, then May collecting box office, but already started the promo marketing campaign for Pacific region. At the end of the June, the film will be to screen in the Pacific region. All USA within 6 months of plan. Limited release 1 week at 2 weekend basis. In this way, we assure the cinema's happiness about money, proposing a clear and straightforward plan like this. They will spend money because we show them statistics. They know these things, and we show them we do that. In addition, they see money because we don't get excessive space to them. We are extremely fair, and they will be more than happy to accommodate our distribution plan. Also, we have been talking about one film, but we have 3 films simultaneously, and we will bring the 3 movies ahead at the same time. A promo marketing campaign will be carried on almost on the similar periods, but slightly on separated times. For example, in January, we screen 3 films in 3 different weeks, and that is even better. Then the promo marketing campaign will go through targeting specific audiences, and by implementing a specific promotion time. One GJ Media suggests posters in the cities, I said that already, public transportation banners, social media boosting massively by target. So that's very important, like trailers, presentation, local TV's interviews, then based on the budget, eventually big billboards locally. So 2 months billboards. Given that the films of Operation 3 films are enticing, for sure, because we know that, absolutely interesting, there will be at least the minimal estimated success. Because the film we have art horror, that's always in demand. Art horror movie, this is nice movie. The Tiny Doors is like a story, psychological story. It's like hidden things that we hide to our partner, our spouse, and they came out in this form of fairy tale, like scary fairy tale, horror fairy tale. So, and then we have displaced instinct, this violence, this sexual addiction. That's a real story. That's come from real story, inspired by real situation happening. That's a psychological facts that sometimes is hidden. People they don't even know exist, but they exist. We have to discuss that. And then in the film, all the experience, situation happened in these 3 people: a woman, a man, successful people, normal people. They have family, they have kids. Then there's all LGBTQ individual, very nice guy as a partner, but they are affected by sexual addiction. They don't know that, but they are pushed by this big like force, and then there is a reason. That's why the film is based on this psychological discovering, and then at the end, the love is the winner. That's is an enticing story, beautiful story. And then we have another story: is music, romance, and drama, inspired by real, here too, the real story of a famous rock, pop rock musician. So that he was going to, as a big problem, life or death sickness, a young guy, and then through the life, through through a kid that he was also. This kid was an admirer of his fame about this musician. But this rock band musician, a young guy, was overwhelmed by the fact doesn't have scope anymore in life. So he found a scope of life through the this kid that also he was a terminal illness. And then through a situation, a tangled situation, that the nurse was the mother. The nurse was the mother. Then his nurse was the mother of the kid. So it then happened many situations that make at the end. So it's like through this story, through the life and death situation, discover meaning of life. Then we have so we have those three films that are beautiful films, very well, very powerful authors, winner people, they win festival, they have experience. So, and then also of course the production team, they are very well organized. So now let's go back. Will be for this will be at least the minimum estimated success, as we said. Wait a minute. We are talking about US, only US. This film we are not promoting globally in a simultaneous manner. But when Ginger Media focuses on a local market to the theater where the film will be shown, because the interest is to bring local people to theater in each region of US. They do not care what in UK or Italy know about the films. One Ginger Media will optimize the promo marketing campaign in each territory where it's present. Then it will start with, first we start in Canada, then it will move to US. When completed, we'll move to the UK and Ireland. Same by region. At the same time, will be Italy and Thailand, where we'll be prepared with dubbing and subtitle, for instance. So each territory will have a promo marketing task force. Each region has a task force complying with the plan. It's a chain reaction of exhibiting the films and pro marketing campaign in succession, successively. A lot of funds will be dedicated to the pro marketing campaign because we had to satisfy the cinemas owners and to make them open to our proposition. At the same time, we have to secure a minimum of return on investment. So that's all these features of optimization, how it works. So what the result? Result is an average of 30-40% of venues only, so not all, for each trade between Canada, the US, the UK, and Ireland, Italy, and Thailand, all managed with the same strategy. It takes around 2 full years to complete the entire round, based only on 2 weekends and 1 week for every territory. We are not calculating even a bit higher success. We are not. We will have a total spending for a PA, a task forces, $13 million. I mean, more than the budget. So the budget is 6 million, because our three films, the budget is $6 million. We spent $13 million. Film owners will, with the agreement with the NGG Media's one GG Media's guarantee that they will obtain $30,600,000 in their pocket. So that is the guarantee. So one GG Media guarantee that. No matter it goes, you get 30 million, more than 30 million. So you get more than 100% budget. How much is the budget? As I said, Operation Three Films. As I said earlier, $6 million. So in 2 years, for making three films completely, in the 2 years running, investors will achieve 128 return on investment. And that is only for the first round. After that, One GG Media, with the collaboration of local agents, will run for Germany, France, Spain, Portugal, Switzerland, Austria, Poland, Sweden, Norway, Finland, Greece, Eastern Europe. That's what we do. And then India, Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, eventually other Asian countries, then Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, then Brazil, Argentina, Mexico, all South America. We're gonna do that. Why not? What's the problem? One GJ Media has the commitment to bring this film, this film everywhere, all this territory. So, and then how much will be all these territories? We didn't do. It's hard to calculate, but at least it would be another at least 30 millions net, just to come up with a number. But it might be much more. It will depend also from the agreements and the type of cooperation with One GJV Media. Will individual advantage. So when One GG Media assumes that the theatrical release is completed, there will be for sure an acquisition in digital platforms. Netflix will get it after that level of popularity acquired at this time for the three films. How much? Well, One GG Media can deal a package for the three films with exclusive for 6 months, maybe 5 millions. And then there will be other digital platforms. They can bring 3 millions. Then there will be TVs, cables, and at this point, easy to ask another few million. Let's say 3 million for 3 films. Then airlines, another 1.5 million. Total of these runs, the entire cycle, distribution gave to the investor net 30 millions plus 19.5 millions net, totally 32 millions of dollars net to the investors. Then might be even more. I want it to be minimal, but the dealing can be obtained more than that by the dealing. 6 million budget for all 3 films, and with 30 millions on the first run, a subsequent another 90 million total in additional runs in the different runs of distribution. So this is of course, to explain details and specific components of the distribution will take a long time to address everything, but this is in general how it is, But if there is need of some more explanation, just contact me at mtaloni@1gjv.net or exec@marktaloniinvest.net, and I will reply as soon as possible. You can see also here, when this will be recorded, also will be the card on top of the video about the address. I'll reply as soon as possible, and then I'm available also for Zoom meeting and telephone calls if some further explanation or interest is requested. Okay, for today I wrap up, and I'm gonna see you tomorrow for the last day and for more critical information needed about how to make the film industry a source of income. So thank you everybody, and see you tomorrow.